Why, hello guys, it is time-traveling Uncle 40 here. I come to you from the year 2205 AD to tell you that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has finally died. But, I have really bad news for you guys. Unfortunately, Konami has taken over the world, and Cardfight Vanguard is not the best game. I'm sorry to tell you guys all this, but Robbie, this could all be avoided if you wear pants in your videos. So please, listen to me. Please. Alright, this is the last message I could get before I'm forced to play more Vanguard. So I need to just dig out the time traveling hat here. Here's much better time. We got Duelist Pack. Oh shit, this is Battle Pack 3. Someday I'll draft this. Should have bought them for $20 a box from ARG when you had the chance. So, we need to talk about how Salamangreat is, in fact, the next Monarch deck. And when I say that, oh, Robbie just wants to shit on budget players. Tell them that there's nothing to worry about. Okay, well, much as my 2 New Year's hats give me super strength, and a lot of you guys love... Alright, I need to get fucking rid of those. Alright, so a lot of you guys love that I just tell it like it is. And that's what this channel's about. So I need to tear apart and talk about the logistics of Salad being hit here. So first up, if you guys remember Monarch format, it was not a friendly time to be a budget player at all. And then Monarchs come out. All of these players spend 30 bucks, you get your budget deck. It's a little bit better of a time from back then to now, because now you had to buy Sunlight Wolves. You had to spend a little bit more money to have a chance now compared to then. Okay, so first thing I want to say, the deck also bricked a lot harder than now. Okay, so that's my analogy. Okay, so risk versus reward. You spend a little bit less money, you get a brickier deck, but in return, your deck was fundamentally pretty solid. You had a chance of doing well. Come into today's format. Well, if you want to make your shitty budget deck, you know, the $30 version, better, you're going to have to get some Phantasmes, and that's just a bad excuse. But that's not what we're here for. We're here for crazy lunatic theory, Robbie, that says, well, maybe Salad's not going to survive this next list. Yes, I know. To the 10th person that's commented on every Sky Striker video I do, oh, Sky Striker's not going to on the next... We've been expecting them to be hit for the last 20 years. See this? These are my time-traveling powers, alright? Like, I don't know what timelines we keep jumping through, like, whatever the fuck's going on in Steins Gate right now. Fucking Hell's Icon grew, by the way, just so y'all know, but just wanted to point that all out there. Okay, so that's besides the point. Okay, so we look at Salad, we understand that, hey, Lady Debug, good card, normal summon, search. Is that what we want to hit? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to go after the Stratos of the deck. Okay, because some decks are playing 2, and then other people are playing Flame Buffalero. Okay, so Flame Buffalero, you go ahead, you link with it, you make Biolinix, and then you're like, okay, cool, so Biolinix goes through, does his play, I get to discard a card, draw 2. Well, that's not terrible, okay, but I don't think that's ban-worthy. Okay, so kind of continue to go through things here. So we get to Biolinix, which is the Link 1, that is a level 4 lower Cyberse monster that on summon will search for your Salamangreat and gives you a blanket of protection. Now, in the grand scheme of things, I could see them hitting this to 1, and I know, oh, I'm so sorry to say this about Biolinix. Okay, so let's call it what it is, guys. I understand that it's on summon search, but I don't think that they're going to want this card floating around because it has the protection effect. I think a lot of the mentality that they're going to go through when looking at the next list, and specifically looking at Salad as a deck, and these are my first run opinions, you know, like, these might be some batshit crazy, but this is kind of what's going through my mind as I'm making this video. So, not everything will be solid, but you guys will get the chance to see my reasoning, hopefully. So, Biolinix, that gives you that protection level. It is recyclable, and I think their primary target would be for this. Okay, cool, I don't want you to have multiple levels of protection. You know, we'll straight limit it to 1. Okay, so there you go. You attempt to fix that. Okay, so we did it. Now, Jack Jaguar special summons itself to a zone that your Link monster points to. That's not really that important. I think the real issue might be Gazelle. I would very much like to put Gazelle to 1 as well. And here's my reasoning for this. Alright, so the fact that Gazelle does his whole mill thing, he's really the cornerstone of the deck, if you ask me my opinion. Like, a lot of people are like, well, Robbie, what do you Veiler in the deck? The Gazelle, usually. The Stalio is not a bad target. I'm not the best person to ask that question, but the Gazelle is a pretty good target to go for there. So that's some backbone reasoning for that. So there's that. Now, with the whole reincarnating system that the deck's going on here, wouldn't it be a stinker if they just limited Sunlight Wolf to 1? Konami's logic here, I almost feel, this isn't making fun of them or anything. It's, they see a card, they see it's a rare, right? Their logic is, okay, cool, so there's no partial or attachment to this, all right? Can we reprint the card for X money? Yes, no, it's already an extremely low rarity. It is the heart and soul of the deck as it is. If you put Sunlight Wolf to 1, it's done. Like, you can't use the reincarnation system anymore. I think putting Sunlight Wolf to 1 is the extremiest extreme, honestly. Now, you've got some other crazy theories that you can do to the deck. The Icarus attack, for example. You could, if you feel that the Icarus attack is doing too much, outright ban it. I know there's going to be a comment out there. It's going to be like, well, Robbie, why don't you just limit them to 1? I hate to tell you this, little friendo, but the decks are only playing usually 1 of the counter trap, 1 of the Icarus attack. I think I've seen 2 Icarus attack in like 1 stray build. And there was an OCG build recently that came across that was playing 1 of the counter trap and 1 of the 1 in the side, 1 in the main. And I was like, well, you know, that's interesting. So if you want to make the deck fair, it's the deck is in such a weird position right now because, like, you go after the Valenix, you hit the layer of protection that it gives you. Okay. The Gazelle is literally like, you draw it, you extend, you go. Spinny revives itself from the graveyard. We know that that's great. Maybe soft hit the Spinny to 1. Like, that seems terrible as it is. Circle of the Salamangreat. This was an interesting one, too. So, the Rhoda is a quick play, which is absolutely bonkers to me that they did that. And it is a once per turn, but it has 2 effects. And I heard a few people that were kind of like, well, maybe going after the Rhoda might be the better call, because when you heard a deck's consistency, that's kind of what you want to go for, right? Well, unfortunately, this points me in the direction of, well, if we hit the Rhoda, there's plenty of other great cards out there. Like, what do we do? I almost, the more I think about it talking in this video, the more I think going after the Valenix to 1 might be the better call, because literally once you answer that and you're able to, like, kind of play through the board, like, the board is nowhere unbreakable. All right, we understand this, but I think a lot of people, the difference between it's not unbreakable versus, oh, I can do this every time, is it is a pretty far stretch. Like, call it what it is. Like, I don't know what these people are doing that this god's, like, obviously kaijuing over their stuff does help in certain situations, and we've talked about that before. You know, kaijus are very good in that matchup, but is it great? So, as of this video, I think approaching the possibility of hitting the Rhoda in the Valenix to 1 checks the deck. The words check and obliterate can be interchanged however you want. In terms of obliteration, you simply limit Sunlight Wolf to 1. You take your structure deck and you go throw it in the trash, like you did with Monarchs several years ago. And I make the comparison for the deck to Monarchs because when Monarchs were at their prime, the deck was nuts. Oh my god, like, yes, it was a brick. Yeah, it had issues, but at the end of the day, as the deck, you know, gradually played out more and more, like, we could see where they were going to go. And it's almost because it was a budget deck, they destroyed it so harshly because there were so many cards that they could go for and just chop off. And I think we'll probably see the same thing here. I would not be surprised if we saw Valenix, Sunlight Wolf, and the Circle all go straight to 1, and then we just ban the counter trap. All right, like, I don't want to say that that's the Konami said so thing to do, because that's just, that's out there, all right, even by my standards. But if, depends, the way that they've been lately with these lists, they've been more passive than anything. I could just see a very easy slap on the wrist, they put Valenix or the Searcher to 1, and then we just kind of call it a day there. I don't know how progressive or they're going to be towards the protection effect, because the protection effect, I think, is broken. I think that's kind of the thing that people are really hating right now, is the fact that you have multiple layers of protection to kind of do your thing. So I'm curious to see how they're going to approach that aspect on the list, because I think that's probably going to be the real target. So, guys, what do you think they're going to do to Solid? Do you think they're going to go as extreme as I have? Do you think that time traveling in my magic spaceship, whatever the heck this thing is, imagine a little Robbie going, like, yeah, that'd be great, right? But please, and comment down below, tell me what you guys think. I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on the subject matter. And, well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a Truffle Shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.